Welcome everybody to Eternal Kings Motorcycle Society's King's Corner, 617 25. So appreciate y'all joining. A couple things here to as we always start off. I just want to say thank you for joining. And with that, what I'd like to do is first shout out some of our sponsors as we generally do. So first and foremost, we'll shout out Brad Johnson Injury Law, as we always do. Great sponsor. 1-800-3 injuries. So if anybody is hurt for any reason, whether it's a car accident, whether you trip and fall or something along those lines, make sure you reach out to 1-800-3 injury and talk to a member of Brad Johnson Injury Law's team. Him and his team are fantastic at getting back to you or giving you an immediate response or answer to your question on whether or not you may or may not have a case. So don't wait. As soon as the accident or injury occurs, use your cell phone, call 1-800-3 injury right then and there. And that way they can get to work and give you the proper advice and represent you from the beginning. Now, with that, like I said, they've taken care of me and other individuals in our organization. So definitely big shout out to Brad Johnson and his team. Second thing, person I'm going to announce here again is Mesa Computer Repair. We called the owner over there, his name, we call him Sluggo. But again, Mesa Computer Repair, the link's on our website. Fantastic company. He doesn't mess around. He works quickly to get any computer repaired and back to the owner. He also does do some refurbishing and sell some used computers. So I'm not sure all of the scope of his business, but he does a lot to help us and our organization to make a positive impact in the community. And he's very heavily involved in charity himself. So he's always out trying to look out for organizations that are making a positive impact. So big shout out there. Also, shout out to Matic Insurance, who partnered with us our first, for their first Q1 charitable event for their Matic Cares program. They are an insurance agency / broker that specializes in working with major mortgage lenders across the U.S. They do not charge like agency fees or brokerage fees. They represent about 40 to 50 different insurance carriers. So great company there. I have the pleasure of actually working with them alongside U-Turn. He actually works there as well. So definitely give us a call or look into Matic. And if you do want an insurance quote, feel free to reach out. Either myself or U-Turn can help you with that. But we, specialize in home, auto, umbrella, jewelry, flood. But they do have the Matic Cares program, and they are constantly doing something every quarter to be involved in the community. And it was a great pleasure to have them come out and actually volunteer alongside us and donate little, care packs for the homeless individuals that we were donating to or feeding that the day that they came out. So that was pretty awesome. All right. So that's it for our sponsors for now. If you're interested in being a sponsor, by all means, reach out to us. We have plenty of ways to reach us. So 602-753-8059 is our direct business phone. You can shoot a text message there if you'd like to, or you can go online through our website. You can also reach out through us through Facebook. I'm on TikTok as EK Spaz, so you can reach out to EKSPAZ on TikTok. You can do that. You can also find any of our members actively in the community. So if you see any of us riding around and you're interested in being a sponsor, you can, reach out that way. You can send us an email at nationalcontact@eternalkingsms.com. So there's a plethora of ways to reach out to our organization if you are interested in being a sponsor. Also, if you are interested in donating and you're an individual, you're maybe not a business or what have you, you can do so directly through the website. There's a donate now link. I am going to urge all of our viewers, both on live here at YouTube, and then also we do share this content over with Facebook. If you have a chance to view this, our momentum is kind of slowed down on our charitable push for $4,500. For this fundraiser that we're doing right now. So if you can get active and you can help us get to that 4,500, every dollar is greatly appreciated. They do go to a good cause. Everything, none of us are paid. Everything we do goes to our programs, program expenses, so that we can, help as many people as we can. For those of you that have followed our other live content, we do have a lofty goal this time of helping 25 kids in 1 year. We also are looking to really get off the ground with our Fresh Start Youth program, where we can sponsor 1 to 2 people this year, or as soon as we can, for our that Fresh Start Youth program. So if they were in a group home or foster home or juvenile corrections, we can step in and utilize our partnership with Penn Foster EDU out of Pennsylvania. It's an online, nationally and regionally accredited high school diploma program that we will pay for. And we're working out all the details, but we're looking for people that want to go through that program. So if you were involved in a group home or foster home or in juvenile corrections at some point when you're younger and you're between 18 and 26, or if you know somebody that fits that criteria, by all means, reach out to us in regards to that, as we are trying to get that off the ground. But that's partly where resources from programs, money raised, goes to. And then we also have our Feeding the Homeless event about 5 times a year. We are actively in the community feeding the homeless ourselves. In the Phoenix area, we're also in Tucson, doing community service and taking care of the homeless people that are in need. Partnering out with the organization called The Lot, and that's in Tucson. So we're very actively involved and doing everything we can. So again, please get off the sidelines. Please help us reach our goal with that. That's my plea there for that. And I appreciate every dollar that comes in. Thank you for everything. With that, what else we got? So a couple other updates or things going on. What's the haps, right? So for those of you that tuned in either last week or the week before or in our TikTok lives, you may have noticed that we were going to be doing our mystery destination ride a little different. This last Thursday, we actually did our mystery destination ride over at Main Event. So why Main Event? Well, normally our mystery destination ride is a ride between 15 and 55 miles to a restaurant, bar, grill, something like that. But it is always adult only. That's kind of how we do it. And so any rider that comes out and joins us, we tailor it to, like an adult audience typically. Well, we had an individual reach out to us who's met us before, and he basically reached out and said, "Hey, I got my kids, and my wife's going to have the kids or whatever that night, and she'd like to go as well to meet the Eternal Queens." And, after reaching out to us, I immediately was like, "Hey, I think that'd be a great idea. So I'll let my people know that the next MDR, we're going to do family focused." So, because we're a family organization, so we're like, absolutely. Let's not have that stop you from bringing your kids out or whatever, for meeting us in person or having your wife meet the queens. So they ended up coming out, and they actually invited a couple friends too who joined us, which was awesome. We did spin the wheel. We ended up at Main Event down in Tempe, and we had a great time. I mean, there's some pictures posted online, not a ton because we were busy doing, having fun, but the kids got to go and play and, do their thing. The adults got to sit down, have conversation. We all broke bread together, which was awesome. Those that wanted to drink, drank. Those that just wanted to have a pop, had a pop, but at the end of the day, everybody got out there, had a good time, and everybody got home safe, which is awesome. So, yeah, I mean, I think it was a very successful thing. Thank you for the people that did join us that night. I would encourage anybody that didn't join us, look for those types of things in the future. We are going to probably be enacting, some random mystery destination ride family nights into our schedule, but it'll probably be randomized when we do it. The next one is actually back to the adults MDR, but that's going to be on 6/26. Meeting up 7:20 p.m. is the start meetup time on 107th Avenue and Van Buren. There's a Circle K, and then we will be KSUing right around the 7:45 time frame. These are events that are just break up the monotony of the week. We know it's hot in Phoenix. We tell people all the time, like, it is what it is. You're going to ride your motorcycles throughout the year in Phoenix, or you're not. That's your choice. We choose to ride regardless, whether it's hot, whether it's raining, no matter what it is. We do tailor it for the audience a little bit. So we did plan evening rides when the MDR was originally scheduled and planned, so that even though we go through summer, we can keep the consistency to where it's a little bit cooler in that hour, or that time frame. So definitely look us up online. Get out to an MDR if you haven't been to one before. They are pretty fun. As you can see, like I said, I always have my my two other co-hosts with me behind me here. So I got Kill Switch and I got, or on that side, I got Kill Switch and I got U-Turn on that side. But yeah, so those are some of the updates on that. A couple other updates. So those of you that have been watching, looking at our Facebook, you know that we do have our lowrider slash, well, I don't even call lowrider, it's car and bike show slash trunk or treat, featuring a category of lowrider, category of hot rod, category of cruiser, and category of sport bike. So we are still continuing to work out those details and get that all established fully. We're making some positive headway with that. So if you have been tuning in to this, we're going to be getting out, putting some flyers out at different locations to start to raise awareness for this. Please, if you see our flyers online, share them. We want it to be successful turnout for everybody that's a spectator, just as much as everybody that joins the actual event itself and enters the contests. We want to, do everything we can to raise a bunch of money for charity so that we can help more and more and more people in the communities that we operate and ride and stuff like that in. So thank you. If you guys do plan on joining, put it on your schedule. Don't miss it. It's going to be a great, I'm confident it's going to be a great turnout for sure. And it's going to be a fun event. A lot of good details there, but as far as updates are concerned, we still got Pastor Jeremy going out to that. So thank you to Pastor Jeremy of Grace Walk Church. He's going to be doing a bike blessings, giving out information to celebrate recovery. So if you do have any kind of addiction issues or whatever, it's a good resource, for people that might be going through something in life, some positive words of encouragement. So that'll be a good thing. And again, I always preface, we're not a religious organization. We do have individuals that believe in God or who are Christian or Catholic or Norse or, whatever. We take men from all walks of life. And then on the Eternal Queen side, same thing. They take women from all walks of life. The encouragement is just to get off the sidelines and get involved in the community and make a difference. So, looking forward to that. Again, we are looking for judges. So we still need 5 judges. We haven't locked them all down yet. We do have some people working on getting some judges. I'm not making any announcements formally on those yet, but if until they're solidified and 100% certain that those are going to be the judges. So if you're somebody that knows about lowriders, knows about hot rods, knows about cruisers, or knows about sport bikes, and you think you can be a judge, please send us a message. One of those sources I mentioned earlier, so that we can actually get you filling that slot. We'd love to have you come out there and help out with that. What else? We have our scavenger hunt. The flyers have not yet been made for that, but they will be coming up. It's not ours. It's actually Eternal Queens. So let me not take credit for what they're going to be doing. So shout out to Eternal Queens. We have that happening. That's going to be the first weekend, I believe, of December. So look for the flyers as those start to come out. And let's make that a super successful event as well. It's going to be fun. And then also, we have now sponsored or are working on sponsoring our first child of the year. Well, I think it might be our second of the year. I'm not positive, but I know we are sponsoring a kid right now that, is an autistic, 10-year-old who's about to be 11 on her birthday, the 23rd. And mom, basically, or the adopted mom in this picture, she actually adopted this young girl after the girl's parents passed away, or during COVID, or mother passed away during COVID, due to COVID complications. And we now have, like, our Eternal Queens, I should say, have basically taken the resource, the money that we've raised for these types of programs. They have spent, I believe, right at $200 in gifts for this little girl, so that she can have a birthday. Now, adopted mom was worried about not even being able to do that and having the resources for it. And it's because of our generous sponsors. It's because of our donors who donate to us and give us, the resources, and because of our members on Eternal Kings and Eternal Queens side that make this possible. So Eternal Queens have now shopped. They're going to be working on wrapping these presents and getting that done. And they're going to be also getting together and making, or buying a cake, I believe. The little girl likes chocolate cake. So they're going to make it all happen for this little girl who otherwise wouldn't have been able to have a super special birthday. So I'm very excited about that. So if you want to join us on delivering gifts or whatever, I mean, get in touch, right? I mean, this is the stuff we try to do throughout the year. So we do birthdays, we do Christmas, we do Easter, we do Ramadan, Kwanzaa, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, any holiday. It doesn't have to be a religious holiday. It could be a birthday. We want to de-stress the holiday for the parents or the people that are raising the kids. We also want to make it a fun, exciting memory for the kids in question. And make sure that they're not getting bullied. They can go to school. They can be proud that they had a holiday just like everybody else. And they don't get picked on, which is a beautiful thing. We live in a world filled with bullying and people that have egos and pride that are way up here when they need to bring it down quite a few notches and realize that we all operate on this same plane of existence, and we all try to help, need to better each other and help each other out and not be the men and women that make things bad for our communities. There's enough of that in the world. We need to be working to make it better. So anyways, what else do we have going on? So I mean, those are pretty much what we have going. We have our family break bread night that we do. That's happening in this Saturday, the 21st, right before we deliver the presents to this little girl. So we're going to be doing that from like 2 to like 7:30, and then packing up the car, one of the cars, and then riding over on our motorcycles with the chase car to deliver the presents. So that's exciting. That's going to be Saturday. We have our family game nights on Tuesdays. We do. It's not just D&D, but right now it's kind of a D&D family game night. Plus, whoever joins can get together and socialize. You can get together and play different board games or whatever if you want to. But again, it's all about that togetherness and hanging out and doing different stuff there. And then what else we got? Do we got anything else that we're thinking of on the calendar? Any rides or anything coming up?
Just the MDR on the 26th, and then July 5th is our volunteer event.
Oh yeah, and then July 5th. Yeah. So July 5th, just to make sure that everybody could hear Kill Switch, he has a tendency to talk a little quiet, but and the mic's over here. So July 5th is our volunteer event. If it's a Saturday, it's for the homeless at St. Vincent de Paul campus. And essentially, we will, in over in Mesa, we're going to be doing burgers like cheeseburgers, chips, drinks. We know it's hot, but it's hot for the homeless people that are out there stuck in the elements that can't escape to the AC, folks. So let's get active. Let's get out there. Let's help pass a plate. Let's help fill a glass and give it to a homeless individual and remind them that people actually care. Because yeah, there might be some individuals that are just in a bad situation or a bad way because maybe they choose that life. But there's a lot of people that don't. There's a lot of veterans in the community that are homeless that maybe they had, some really bad things happen, and they just need some love and some support that would encourage them to, as a reminder, to change their circumstance. And sometimes people need just a hand up in life. They need a positive voice that says, hey man, you can change this. And a lot of times when we're out there, these individuals will share their story, right? So one of the things, actually, speaking of sharing your story, one of these things that we're going to be probably starting once we get our Fresh Start Youth thing off the ground, it was advice of a consultant that we have for our organization, where we're going to be doing like a little tell us your story essay. When we start to try to decide like who to choose for these, the programs when it comes like the high school diploma program, maybe have somebody do a write-in of like just simply telling us their story as to, what happened in their life. Were they in a group home? Were they in a foster home? Things like that. So, yeah, that's kind of what we got going on in our world. Again, you'll hear me say it a bunch. Get off the sidelines, get involved, get active, like, share, subscribe. Even those little things could make a difference. Submit questions, all that different stuff, right? I mean, because questions are great to be able to answer, especially in a live situation like this. You know, and we really need them, right? So ask questions about what a motorcycle society is, or how we're different from a motorcycle club, or, you know, visit our frequently asked questions, join us for the live and get clarity on some of the FAQs that are on there. You know, if you're in Tucson, you know, reach out to us to find out more information on what's the HAP out in Tucson, what they're doing. You know, I know that I believe it's Ariana from The Lot and our brother Saint and stuff like that would love to have people get involved and go participate out in Tucson, right? We're going to be doing some riding, you know, and making some ride plans for like an overnight ride again, I believe in August or September. You know, ask us how you get involved in that. If you're looking to do some overnight rides and, you know, partying it up and having a good time. We're a charity organization, but we do still believe in, you know, riding our motorcycles and, you know, partying it up and having a good time as family. So, you know, if you want to get off the sidelines and do that, come do that, you know. And then we also have our um our event called the Motorcycle Safety Foundation. I forgot what it was called there for a second. MSF. We're looking for 1 to 2 riders. We've extended an invite to one individual who came out to our last MDR. You know, he seems to have you know, the right vision. The guy wants to do community service and charity. He's already doing that in the community. He kind of told us a little bit about some of the stuff he's been through and how he's wanting to actually get involved and start riding motorcycles and stuff. So we personally extended an invite to him to fill a slot at our Motorcycle Safety Foundation, you know, course that we're going to be doing most likely through Ride Arizona. And we're hoping he accepts it. I mean, I think it'd be pretty awesome. We have a couple other people that are we're in talks with about, you know, hey, is this something you actively want to do? And that'll be fantastic. And then let's see here. We got a chat in. Can we come out with you guys? How about in the community? Yeah. So absolutely. If you get involved in the community or you want to get involved in the community, send us a message saying you'd like to get involved. How can I get involved? Something as simple as that. It'll start the conversation. We then can actually take and get in contact with you, tell you exactly how you can get involved. There's any number of ways that we have to get involved. And we'd be very happy to be able to do that and partner with you and see you out at some of these events and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got for this live. We look forward to seeing hopefully some new faces out at our next MDR on the 26th. We hope that you like, share, and subscribe all of our content from all of our platforms, which ultimately will help us grow an audience and get more people involved so that we can continue to help more and more people in our community. So with that, anybody else want to add anything?
I'm good.
Nope. All right. Well, thank you for joining King's Corner for updates with Eternal Kings Motorcycle Society. Shout out to any Eternal Queens or Eternal Kings that may have joined in our to watch this, and shout out to anybody that joins and watches you know, our live even after the fact. So thank you for all of that and have a great evening. Well, technical difficulties. If you're still watching, I apologize. Some pop-ups on said friendly computer here. Technology is your best friend and your worst enemy at the same time sometimes, I swear.